Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Hello, viewers. You are welcome. It's Friday, the 1st of November, 2024, and we're here on our SSM Friday International Update. My name is Mark Godwin Iweajunwa, and I'm here with my coordinator, Olayinka Raji from Lagos, Nigeria. Olayinka Raji, good morning. Happy New Month.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, viewers across the globe. Happy this another awesome day on SSM, the beginning of a brand new month, which
Yes,
a lot of promise and grace from God. Welcome.
a lot of
I'm
promise
glad to be here.
and grace for. Yes, we're happy to see you the first day of the month. You are welcome, Yinka. So
Thank you.
November is a beautiful month. It has always been, because it's in preparation to the Christmas December month. Is that
End
not
of the
so?
year. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so we have come as usual to do what we do best on a day like this. You are welcome.
Thank
First
you.
of all, I hope you're following up the update about the Ghana election, because you'll be giving us updates from there probably live soon. Are you ready?
Yeah. Very, very ready.
Good, because it will be a hot one this year. Is that not so? This
It's
year,
going to be. Yes.
this year will
There's
be
been
very, very
there's
hot.
been a lot of fireworks already about what happened in Parliament and all those things.
The death of the woman, the
Yeah,
death
the
of
death of
Papa. Yes, that death
Chukwu.
is still shaking us, because we feel it was just too tragic, very, very tragic.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's come to George is not here now, so we'll probably just do some other news before he comes to tell us about the American update, the election campaign updates. So, but before then, let's do some other international news. Yesterday, Tony Blinken, United States Secretary of State, was telling us that there are about 8,000 North Korean soldiers at the Ukraine border. He said it looks like North Korea and Russia are aligned together go into combat in the coming days in Ukraine. Do you have that story, Yinka? Do you have any update on what do you have on that?
I have that story, and I wonder why it should be a concern for the U.S. because there are also foreign soldiers in Ukraine.
Okay, before you go ahead, let's bring in George. George is here now. Sir George Chukwu from Toronto, Canada. You're welcome. It's good to see you. First day of the month. How new month, George?
Yeah, good morning, I'm Godwin, and good morning, Olayinka Raji, and good morning, viewers from around the world. Welcome to our Friday World News.
Yes, and it looks like a beautiful month start. We have also our here, Akano, Jana,
oh my goodness!
What did you dream? What did you dream this morning? What was the dream about?
Oh my goodness! This is just a special. It's a special gift for me.
Raji, Mr. Mark.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to be here. Welcome to all our viewers around the world. So let's do this Friday morning.
All right. We're ready.
Ready. So happy New Month again to all of you. Raji and I just made those compliments. Raji, yes, go ahead. So 8,000 North Korean soldiers at the Ukraine border. It looks like North Korea, Ukraine, Russia deploy those troops for combat. Like Blinken is telling us, the Secretary of State, United States, he says they've been stationed around, and it looks like in the coming days there will be some troops marching in to combat in the Russian-Ukraine border. So tell me, what was you were trying to say?
No, you see, at this moment, all that we should be doing is to try to stop the war, to start to stop the war. So I don't understand America's instead of ensuring that the Ukrainians are allowed to please calm down. There's no way we are going to win this war against Russia. This is an unnecessary war, unnecessary waste of manpower and resources. Let us see how we can stop this war. And Putin has given out indication that he had no intention of starting a war, of engaging in this war. Let's find a way to stop this war.
I don't know where you're getting your information from, Mr. Olayinka Raji. I don't know where that news is coming from, but it ain't coming from our quarters, because what we see is the weakness of Putin and going to hire soldiers from North Korea and training them for ground troop invasion into the United States of America. And this, because of intelligence, they were into Ukraine. So now what we are understanding is the fact that because he's been unable to take over Ukraine like he thought he was going to be like that, now he's going and seeking help from North Korea. So bringing 8,000 to 10,000 soldiers that they're training for ground troop invasion. So now US, through intelligence, discovered what has been going on and is letting the world know what is happening. And they're not going to sit back and watch and see what is happening. So it is important for us to understand that this expresses the weakness of Putin and the inability to combat that small nation. It expresses his weakness. So we need to understand that. So as much as they are trying to do a grand invasion, do you think that Ukrainians are sitting down and watching? They're not going to. And as a matter of fact, their ally, United States of America, will help them to crush these people as they're coming. So that's what you're going to be seeing. So I don't know where you're getting this thing about, Putin is saying that he doesn't want the war, whatever the case. If he doesn't want the war will end tomorrow. It's because of his pride and the pride of the Ukrainian president that is fueling this thing and killing innocent citizens and destroying their lives. So let's get this story straight. Thank you.
Get the story straight, George. That you really hit this one straight up. Yinka, George is speaking from his investigation, his research.
Whatever investigation he has done. The facts are on the ground. That there's no way Ukraine can win a war against Russia. And there's no way Russia wants to take over Ukraine. So let that be true. Russia has no intention of taking over Ukraine.
Okay.
Oh, Lord have mercy upon us.
Let's appreciate our viewers. We have Lady EB. I hope
Abby. Lady Abby.
Abby says, well done, you all. Well done. Guys are watching. We don't know where Lady Abby is watching from. So, Lady Abby, thank you for joining with us. What we do on Friday is give international news updates, looking between the story and give you, like George just did now. George just told us what's going down. About 8,000 North Korean soldiers at the Ukrainian border. Anthony Blinken, United States Secretary, is telling us this. And he believes that these soldiers are sent to help the Russian troops. So that's just what it is, Raji. So let's move on, guys. Let's not dwell on this so much. George, come back to you. Raji is coming up again. Raji, tell us, what's that again you want to say?
No, you don't have to make it personal. I've expressed my view. Russia has no intention of taking over Ukraine.
They have no intention
to continue this war.
Okay,
let us go.
Before we go into more deeper international diplomatic stories, let's talk about something. It's also a diplomatic story because somehow I don't see how South African is now petitioning that girl. Remember Chidimma Adetshina, Fiona? They are petitioning that she be removed from that international Miss Universe pageant over identity fraud. Shona, what do you know about this?
For me, I think it's just unfortunate that this is even a news story, because I think for anybody who, and first of all, I'll start by saying that I don't blame her for the situation that she's in, because I don't think it's really anything about her. I think it's about documentation from her mom's side. So, and it's something that happens across the world. It happens a lot here in the United Kingdom, where somebody isn't quite the person they say they are, and we all know how those things go. But it's just unfortunate that it's coming apart at the seams for this young lady. And to be quite honest, if that is what it is, that is what it is. If as a fact, her mom has used somebody else's documentation, etc., then for me, it's a non-case. If that is what it is, it's the facts of the matter, and whatever has to happen, whatever the country's law says about her situation is what the law says. So for me, I can't be sentimental about it. I just have to follow the line of the law. If they're saying that, well, actually, your mom said she was somebody she isn't, and we found out that she isn't, I think every country is within their right to rescind their paperwork. So if that's what it is, that's what it is. So.
Unfortunately, it is what it is. It is very unfortunate that South African nation, the people that we fought with and fought for during the apartheid, for them to gain their independence completely from the people that was, ruling over them for centuries. Then they're now coming up after gaining that little independence, to fight against this young lady. Let me tell you something. The bottom line to it is that's their law. That is fine. Yep. But for this young lady to be accepted into Nigeria because her dad is from Nigeria, and then she's running under the auspices of Nigerian nation, and then South Africa is rising up again. This is nothing but a despicable act from them. Why are they trying to remove him from the world, from international Miss Universe? What purpose are they going to achieve? That's pure wickedness.
I don't subscribe to that. If she has gone there as a Nigerian person, it's not South Africa's business. If she has gone there as a South African person, then it's South Africa's business.
Exactly. That's my point there. Yeah. My point is, okay, you guys have already done what you need to do regarding your law. You have extricated her from your own country. You refused her winning as the South African Miss South Africa for the Miss Universe. Now Nigeria is accepting her because her parentage, her dad is from Nigeria, and then she's working on that. Why are they now going after her in Miss Universe? Because that is actually very despicable, and it speaks so low of South Africans. And I don't give a care who says anything about that. For that act alone, this young lady, I can guarantee you, will go all the way, and she will win this Miss Universe if care is not taken. Because the more they do this, they are, basically, making her more popular. Number one. Number two, people now will want to vote for her for the main purpose. She is an innocent person. She did not ask to come into this world. She did not ask the Mozambique mom and the Nigerian dad to come together to bring her into this world. So all these things are so petty that it makes South Africa look so small in my own eyes and the eyes of many people. And any intelligent individual will not, just look at them as, what are these people doing? And it shows their unenlightenedness. for them to pursue this. Honestly speaking.
My point is just simple. She is not representing South Africa. She's representing Nigeria. So what's the whole fuss about?
That's the question.
So what's the whole fuss about? But gentlemen, listen, we can say what's the fuss about. These people are making hard moves. First of all, what they are trying to do as this Tuesday 3 days ago, is strip her of her citizenship. That was the first step. Then yesterday, just yesterday, they are now on top of this whole story. They are now going ahead to Mexico, where the Miss Universe competition is being held, to tell the organizers to stop her from being part of that event. So they are doing everything. They are very intentional about what they are doing. I'm not joking. They are going all the lengths. Yes, she's not a side. She's not.
But I believe that in doing this, Nigeria need to double their effort to ensure that this lady go all the way and win that Miss Universe. I can guarantee you, because what is happening now, what they're trying to do is to stifle her movement by taking away those citizenship and all that. She cannot travel with their passport anymore. Let Nigeria now give her a passport immediately. And let the Minister of Foreign Affairs just work so diligently to ensure that she participates and no one can remove her from this. Because I can guarantee you, see this young lady, she is greatness going somewhere to happen. Let's watch and see.
Yes, I agree.
It's interesting. Go ahead, Joanna.
Yeah, I do agree that there's clearly something in her style that they're trying to stifle. I agree with all that, and I think that they can do whatever they want with their citizenship. They can take their passport. It's fine. I think what Sir George said is 100% right, that as Nigerians and as a community as a whole, we need to just support all the efforts towards making sure that she remains there. And I mean, where in the world you're allowed to have, dual nationality, etc., etc. So she doesn't have to be South African. She can be a Nigerian and she can be there. So I don't really know why South Africa is taking so much interest in her. It's actually quite interesting. Actually, I don't really know if there's something else behind it or what.
It's petty.
I know we have an ongoing.
But will Nigeria guys? Will Nigeria be able to play? Will Nigeria be able to play the power game? Because it's a game now.
There's no power game here. There's no power game here. This is simple vendetta against this young lady. She's not representing South Africa. She's representing Nigeria. She's South Africa has no.
The power game of him making her succeed in the event and probably win the event.
There's nothing South Africa can do about her participation in the Miss Universe, because she's not representing South Africa. She's representing Nigeria. If her traveling papers are in doubt, of course she will come back to Nigeria and fulfill all whatever she has to do with her. She can't be stranded wherever she is now.
If she is in Mexico right now, as it is, and then they are stripping her of her citizenship based on whatever their law is saying, I believe this is very petty. It looks so childish and juvenile for South Africa. So if that is the case, Nigeria needs to double down on ensuring that a new passport is being provided right away where she is. The president of Nigeria ought to take this thing as a mission to accomplish, to ensure that what South Africans are doing, that they will look so despicable and so childish and juvenile in the eyes of everybody. Because that's a vendetta, a whole nation. Look at what they are doing. When they have other things to deal with, their own internal problems, they're going after this young lady. Come on. Solve your problems at home and leave the young lady alone, for goodness sake.
It's a vendetta, it's a distraction.
A distraction.
From their internal issues that they need to face. It's a distraction by the government, yes. And I don't think we should involve even the president president of Nigeria in this thing.
Oh, yeah, he needs. Oh, believe me, I think he should, because let me tell you something. Let me tell you, this is an international situation. The same way that United States of America ensured that this man who actually was being charged of something is being released and the charges are being dropped. That is the function of the president. Who called Asiwaju to thank him for dropping the charges and releasing their citizen? Wasn't it the United States President of Biden? So why should not our president get involved in this?
Okay.
That's the question. It's a diplomatic issue. No, it's not too low. This is an international thing. Now this lady is being called a Nigerian. She's representing Nigeria, and that's part of the function of the president. If the president of the United States of America, the leader of the free world, can call Nigerian president to thank him for releasing their citizen, why should not our president, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, deal with this situation and ensure that everything is well provided and funded for this young lady? That's what I would do if I was the president of Nigeria.
Than this petty vendetta. Please don't distract our president with this distraction.
Believe me, it's part of his function. If he cannot handle it, he shouldn't have said that the Milacon is my own turn. So this is part of his function.
If you have
in your views, it's not. You don't know diplomacy, you don't know international laws. So if you do know, you will understand that this is part of what he's supposed to do.
So the president,
believe me,
should start putting out fires all over the place and leave his main function.
I don't think that's what he said, Raji, but I think
that's not what I'm saying. I said through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to ensure.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know. You don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
Please.
This is part of what we do. To agree and put it out. Yes, this is what's happening. Adetshina, Chidimma. There's something very unique about this girl, though, guys, because I don't see how these people keep punching on her, little girl, 18-year-old, and she's going to just to be what she wants.
Guess what? The more trash they put on her, the higher she rises. The more trash they put on her, it goes under her feet. She climbs on top of it and gets more popular. Right now, every part of the world is knowing about Adetshina. The world knows about her. So the more they come after her, the more popular she'll become. Go ahead.
Yes, Fiona used to talk about the psychological part of most of these days. Are we sure she's not going through some well-being trauma and all this? Because it could be telling her she's too small to be involved in some of these things. Fiona, what do you think?
Yeah, I think she is quite young to be going through this kind of thing at such a high, such a public high level. But I mean, that's the price that you pay for the price you pay for fame. So it's just like a musician at that age. So I mean, yes, hopefully, her mental health will be being taken care of throughout this whole experience, because I mean, it's highs and lows. She keeps experiencing all these highs and lows, and I expect it's even a grown, mature person, it's difficult to continue being thrown around in a roller coaster. So I just hope that somebody is taking care of her mental well-being, But whatever the case may be, my own is that we should make sure that she's allowed to continue her contest as a Nigerian, and forget this whole South African thing. It's disappointing because obviously she was brought up there, and that's where she knows as home. But we will welcome her with open arms.
Yeah,
she's part of us now. She's part of us, and we are proud to have her as one of us.
Yes, viewers, that's it. Chidimma Adetshina with her very not too good sub story, we call it. Let's move on. We're hearing some other news. George, do you want to tell us the update? United States presidential election. We had some funny things were happening yesterday. Somebody was wearing garbage people's dress, riding on their van. And it's just 5 days to go. November the 5th is that day. So who's winning, George? Who's winning with the polls?
As it sounds right now, the whole situation is neck and neck. It's just apart. So anything could happen. But as it stands so far, the two sides are anticipating victory. So we are going into this. Yesterday Trump was in New Mexico, He's supposed to have finished his campaign, but he disregarded that and went on anyway. I think he's a little desperate, So, but the point is, we're just the Democrats are doing a lot of groundwork. They're doing a lot of groundwork. They going from house to house, knocking at doors, ensuring that the people that are supposed to vote are those that are qualified to vote will get out there and vote, because that's part of the problem. They said about 200 million people registered, which is and America is about 300 and something million people, which is not bad at all. When you think about it, the last election we had about, it's not strange at all. It is not strange. It is not strange one bit, because if you come to Nigeria, it's not strange. No worry. The reason why it's not strange is, if you come to Canada as a nation, most of the time sometimes we have about 50% of the population of this country as registered voters who go out there to vote, and now what you are seeing is a lot of work is being done to discourage people that are voting to go out there to vote, and this is being done by the Republicans. Many states are making it very difficult for them, which is not fair, but I can guarantee you one thing: in spite of all of that, people are out there and they will get up and they will go and vote. And then you saw how many people that already voted through the early voting. So it's a mass, a whole lot of people. So what we are seeing here is that a lot of people know that democracy is at stake in the United States of America, and they will want to have somebody who can actually come to fuel that democracy, nobody who want to force himself into the presidency at all cost, by having people to be killed in January 6th. So that's what we are looking at right now. So let the best woman win.
Thank you. 5 days to go. Reg, do you agree from your observation what's happening? Because
no way you will agree. No way you will agree.
Interesting. No. Let me speak. Interesting campaign for the Dems.
Go ahead. He can't.
I think it's frozen.
He's can't.
That we have stopped him from talking.
314 million.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
The population of the US is 314 million, and we have 200 million registered voters. That is strange. That means that more than 60% of the US have registered to vote. That is strange, because if you look at the demographics, I don't think that they have that much people above 18 to vote. Now, apart from the registered voters, traditionally in almost every election globally, the voter turnout does not go beyond 70%. So I'll be strange. It was strange to me when the last election between Trump and Biden, the number of voters went up to almost 90%, 99% of registered voters. That is strange. And that is very, very strange.
Well, let me tell you. Let me just respond to that. You are living in a country that is so that is so behind and so backward that even right now, a few days ago, yesterday in Kanu, the light came up and they go out there rejoicing and clapping while the world is talking about flying. Oh, so excuse me. Can I finish? Let me finish. I didn't interrupt you, please. You are here talking about the United States of America that have they are technologically, they are so well advanced that they're in heaven while Nigeria is still on earth. So that is, when you're speaking about this, you're talking about certain ignorance that is coming out of you because of the place where you're dwelling. These people, they have it all. Hold tight now. Hold tight.
Personal about this thing.
Hold tight.
I'm telling you that globally, in every election, which is this is something I've studied.
Let me tell you,
every election,
America
it's
will
not
not
likely
bring
that you
any
have
news out there
70%.
that is not correct. They will not.
Hold on.
They will not bring it out unless they have
I'm
facts to
telling
back
you
it up,
this.
my brother. So
I'm telling
what I'm
you
saying
this,
is, you're not in
that
Nigeria. We are talking
globally,
about United
out
States
of
of America.
every
So stop
election, you do not
exposing your
expect more
ignorance when
to
you talk about stuff like that.
80%.
Actually, it is not well. You're exposing your ignorance. America will not go and announce and put in the news that 200 million people registered to vote if it's not so. Are you, I mean, where are you coming from? You are in Nigeria.
What are you saying? Is it because you are talking entirely and completely out of your head? Now, I'm saying that America has said that they have 200 million registered voters. I'm not doubting that.
What is wrong with that?
I'm telling you. Hold on.
They have facts to back it up.
Did I say there was anything wrong with that? I said it is a fact that they have a population of 314 million, and there are 200 registered voters. And I'm telling you that statistically and globally, voter turnout at every election is most likely less than 75%. So we look at what is happening in this election. That's what I'm saying. So where is the ignorance that you are showing?
The election for us here in the studio, we see it as a turnaround in humanity. Whatever happens to America in this election is the direction that the world will be going. So it's crucial. This is what we're talking about here. It's not joke, guys. Please, let's.
No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke.
There's not a joke.
Hold tight, George. Hold tight. What will you talk about? Ballot box burning. What will happen? Will those voters have to revote? What happens with those ballot boxes? That the situation we saw, video clips we saw of different places, ballot boxes burning.
Well, what is gonna happen? These are the new. I believe that is the early voters. I also believe that some of what will now happen is, because I can guarantee you, there's no way. Democrats are going out there burning ballot boxes. There is no way. It is not going to happen. Because they are on the ground. They are knocking on doors and making sure that people are getting out of the vote. And you see a lot of states in America, so many states in America, they are making it difficult for people to go out there to vote, especially where you have a black population. So that's what you're seeing. It is all in trying to hinder people from exercising their constitutional right to get out there to vote. They're moving a lot of voting places far away from, where black people are living, and a lot of foreigners are living. So these are intentional things that they're doing. So I honestly believe that those boxes that were being burned, something must happen where maybe they can, go ahead and re-vote again.
Okay. Before we're going on a break. But before then, let's welcome George Godwin from Moscow,
Dr. Godwin Ibai.
Dr. Godwin, morning.
Thank you.
Happy
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
You're very, very well audible.
All right, guys. We'll come back to the discussion. Let's take a small break. Please hold tight. Don't touch your dial. Viewers, this is it. 20th of the month of November 2024. We're here, SSM, massive crew, doing what we do best on this beautiful first day, Friday the 1st. So we'll be back.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
All right, viewers, we're back. We're here again. The house is full. We have Raji Ogbeni Rajola from Lagos, Nigeria. We have George Chukwu from Toronto, Canada. We have Godwin from Moscow, Dr. Godwin from Moscow, Russia. Guys, welcome. So let's look at some situations happening in Europe. Then we'll come to Russia too. Spain has been hit by deadly flood. They've never seen anything like this before. Before we get into the talk, let's see clips coming out from Spain. What you're seeing there are vehicles that have been packed one corner, flood, flash flood, rendering the whole place very, very difficult. The storm began on Tuesday. Anyway, let's not go for the viewers. What you're seeing there is the aftermath of the deadliest flood in decades now in Spain. And here's what we know, guys. Let me, before you guys come in, Spain is coming out of that flooding. He says they've never done anything like this before. Many destruction, houses, vehicles have been rendered useless, and some of those cars you're seeing, people are packed in. Some people are there and they die. So the statistics from yesterday says 159 people, but I think it's more than that. So dozens more are also missing, and this is what we are seeing from Spain. Aerial photograph of what you just saw is happening right live in Valencia, Spain. Godwin, let me start with you. What did you guys hear about Spain from Russia?
Well, to be quite frank, I haven't really taken time out to read all the details, but basically we heard there's a flood and it goes with loss of lives and property, and obviously it's a sad experience for the victims. My heart goes out to them. I hope they are able to come back together as a country, community, and help each other out through this difficult time. So I wouldn't. I have really nothing much to add to this. So I wouldn't waste time on that. I wish them the best. I hope they survive.
Okay. Yes, Fiona is looking at Spain. You guys go there for holidays a lot.
Yes. Indeed. So of course, as Dr. Faber said, our condolences to everybody. I mean, it's a complete tragedy, very unexpected. I think a lot of people in the little towns in Valencia were not able to get out on time. So that's quite sad. For me, particularly, it's particularly poignant because in the United Kingdom, when people apply to study medicine, dentistry, etc., and they don't get in, Valencia tends to be one of the places they actually go out to study. I have a niece that studied dentistry in Valencia, and one of my son's best friends was actually there for a year. So we have a lot of affinity with the people of Valencia. So been talking to a few people that we know that are there, and quite luckily they've been unaffected. I was reading reports that one of their local courthouses has been converted into a mortuary. So I mean that just, for me, just tells you kind of the level and the extent to which the destruction has been. So our hearts go out to the people of Valencia and the people of Spain. And I think they're having 3 days of national mourning, and it's unfortunate that it looks like the numbers are still set to climb. So we wish them in their their recovery. We wish them all the best, and we hope. I heard some reports that they're expecting some more rain. I really hope that will not be the case. So yeah.
Nice, thank you. Yes, you gave that update so well for that. Let's not dwell much on that.
I just
Uh-huh.
wanted to mention something actually.
Go ahead.
I wanted to mention something quickly. What really surprises me in what I have been seeing and the news that I was hearing, usually in a situation like this, like in North America, you know, what usually causes this type of pileups is usually when there is snow or sleet or ice. But for regular rain, and cars are piled up on one another, it's very, very surprising.
It's
Flash
not regular
flood.
rain though. It was
Flash flood.
it was the amount of rain that they would have in a year falling in like few hours. So it wasn't like just like a rainfall. It was a major rainstorm that was just.
I know, but rain do fall, you know, in places where people can also drive. But unless there is some kind of something that is happening where people cannot control the driving.
Sir George, a whole year's worth of rain in a few hours. That's not the same. That's a lot of water.
But yes, but you drive according to the weather condition though. But what I don't understand is I understand the how big the rain could have, the flood could have been. They call it tsunami, the volume of it. But the fact is we still have rain all over. We have rain, for cars to pile up like this is beyond my comprehension, because where I've seen things like this happen before was in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia, where you don't see rain, you don't see snow fall there or ice. So whenever something like that happens, a little snow or ice sleet or something happens, you start seeing cars pile up because their tires are not well. Yeah, please.
Perhaps we could help George.
I've been to Spain.
Go ahead, Massive Mark.
Valencia is hilly. Valencia has this hilly topography. So obviously, when you have this amount of flash flood, it takes everything boom into one corner. So that's why you see that compress cars in one corner, because Valencia is like a mountainous. It has that up and down topography. So all right, guys, let's move on. Our condolences to those.
Sorry, I want to add something. May I?
No, not on this, but you said you don't have anything on this. So let's go on to a topic you have something on. We're talking on Russia that says $20 is it decillion fine against Google. They say it's symbolic. Godwin, tell us. Moscow is facing off with YouTube, Google company, because there is a ban on their Kremlin media on some things they put out on YouTube. So give us that story. What is that thing? Calling it symbolic sounds interesting. Tell us.
Yes, but I wanted to add something, and I know what I wanted to add something, Massive Max. I would appreciate if you let me talk on what exactly I wanted to add something on.
No, but you told us you're full of the story. So let's do that.
But I told you now I want to add something, so I know what I want to add something here for purpose of.
Because we don't have that time. Let's talk.
I understand. Let me add only on the topic I want to, and then you can discuss the other one with the other people, right? Okay. Now I want to add.
Okay, probably you don't want to.
This doesn't have to be an argument.
Listen.
It doesn't have to be an argument. Let's go on. We are wasting time.
Raji, it's hold tight. Raji, don't add noise. It's okay. Godwin, if you don't have the update on the Russia thing, let's move on. Please don't take us back. Now, the other story. George, do you have anything on Russia? Anybody has anything on Russia updates?
Yes.
Russia.
Yes,
Google.
I do.
Go ahead.
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
The child or the whatever was supposed to be symbolic. It means that it's not supposed to be enforced. So let's go on with this. Symbolic. That's all.
Okay. It means that it was not supposed to be enforced.
It's not enforceable.
It's not enforceable. Okay.
It's more money than is in the whole world or something. So it's not
the whole world. Yes.
The real thing.
So,
yeah. That's what. Yeah. That's what I.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, but also I think Google has too much strict measures on their platform, and sometimes also they tend to be too Western. I mean, I'm just saying. So when you do anything that goes pro Western, boom, they come on you, shut you down, shut you. Listen, you guys, let me say this on air. I've been taking off my Google Space or YouTube 4 5 years ago. I had 128 followers. That was huge. And because I said something that was a little bit off what they wanted me to, what they want us to spread, boom, it was good. It was taken up. So Russia starting
Sorry,
bringing up these
Mr. Mac, can
people
I just
and
interject?
help.
You said you had
Okay.
120. You mean 128,000?
8,000.
Yes,
Okay, because you
128,000.
said 128. So I just wanted to be clear
Hey,
that that's what you meant.
paid
Okay.
followers. Yes, Fiona. And it was during the COVID era, and I did some, talk on, and they didn't want that. So it's good Russia is putting out these disputes. Let's have somebody talk about this because they've been doing it to many people. Godwin has also had issues on that thing. So let's make them realize that you can't be blocking people because they want to express themselves. I mean, we say it's a free world, it's free press, and you block them, you tell them don't say this, limit what people can say. Godwin, what will you say about this? I know you recently had issues too. What's that?
Yeah, what I wanted to say is limited is connected both to the previous topic and this topic, so I'll just say it all the same. I wanted to say many of the issues we have, it has to do with um, not just the role of the citizens, but the role of the government in terms of warning people of things in a way that doesn't violate citizens' rights. And in the case of Spain, for example, they were not warned on time. People said they received warnings at 8 p.m. And also in this particular case of trying to control free speech, for example, people say lives would not have been lost if people were warned of the effects of the flooding in Spain. And also in the case of this topic on Google, um, people will not react badly if there's a method, or people will not feel bad if there's a real objective method of preventing people from committing crime without controlling free speech. I've been a victim of, as you all know, of in Google, YouTube closing my channel for whatsoever means, and come up with all sorts of reasons. And when you write their service, they tell you things like, "Oh, we feel so bad that you passed through this, but we have no idea who is looking into the case. There's a special team for which we have no connection with them." It doesn't show any sincerity in terms of allowing freedom of speech if they profess to allow that. Also, there are also accusations that in countries like Russia, for example, people are not allowed to say what they want, which is false, based on my own opinion. But at the same time, if people are not allowed to say what they want in a country which, according to your opinion, why don't you allow them to express themselves in your own platform instead of blocking them for using that opportunity to express themselves in your own platform, which you control, their own opinions about what is going on in their country? So it defeats logic any way you look at it.
It defeats logic any way you look at it. George, what did you want to say? Yeah, I was going to add, it's good to put it on both sides. I was going to say also Russia doesn't have that large mouth to say this against Google, because I think Russia too somehow stifles and silence whoever else comes up to say anything against the government.
Well,
yeah, you made a good accusation. Let me just respond to that. The truth of the matter is that every country has what you call national interest. And if they might have a way, maybe a so-called smoke screen, or even call it institution or democratic. But when you see it has to do with national security, they will bend anything that needs to be bent to suit the national security. Example is the Nord Stream 1 pipeline bombing explosion that everyone saw what happened, but no one can point to anyone, right? There'll be so many examples. Russia is not limited. When Russia has to protect its national interests, you can be sure they will do all that is necessary to protect them. And when the US is in such a position, you can be sure the US will do all to protect it. I mean, the US and the West. I'm using the US as an example or representative of the West. So I'm not saying this from a government to government perspective. I'm saying it from a citizenry perspective. I am not the government. You are not the government. You want to express yourself, but some people say where you are living that speech is limited. Okay, I come to your platform to express myself, then why do you close my account? It's a citizenry question, not a government to government question.
Well, there's a difference between freedom of speech when it concerns speaking against a nation or against the security of a nation versus speaking against the leader of the nation. What you see predominantly in most third world countries, when you speak against the president, you are in trouble. So they will do whatever they can to stop you. Versus when you say something like here in Canada during the campaign, several months ago, I was moderating the campaign for Trudeau. Right after we finished the whole thing, we were walking outside. There were some people who came out there and was calling him all kinds of names. They were shouting it up on there. I couldn't even say what they were saying here, the names they were calling. I was standing beside him. He wanted to respond, and I heard him and I said, don't say anything. Just give me a moment. I turned around and I raised my voice and said, we want Trudeau, and the whole crowd started and muted them. So now he wasn't going to respond to them. He did not react or respond to them. He got in his car and left with victory. So the difference between freedom of speech, most of the time is you can go to the United States of America and call the president all kinds of names. Put it in your car, drive with it, nobody will say anything. It's here in Canada. But when you talk about, national security, they will, all nations will rise up and want to protect themselves. But the difference is when you come against their leader and then your life is threatened. That's the difference of, when I look at, freedom of speech from different parts of the world, everybody protects themselves, like what Godwin is saying.
Thank you. Everybody protect themselves from what Godwin is, as like Godwin just said.
But you can't come out and say anything about against Putin and be sure that your life is spared. You can't. This we know for sure. We've seen it happen again and again and again. And then some people are dying. Some people are dying. Some people are dying. Everybody knows what happened, but nobody's pointing fingers, in there. So, that's it. Who are we to say?
Of the attempted assassination of Trump. We have the case of Fico in Slovenia.
No, those are implants. Those are implants to make him popular.
Yeah, I'm not arguing. Just get my point.
Let's put our satellite on Mozambique. We all know Mozambique, that southern African country with beautiful coastline, But Mozambique is going through a lot now. There's 2 more there. People are ready to die, protesting for change, political change. Gentlemen, this morning, 12 people are dead. The youths are rising up because this is what's happening. The man that is there, let's see if we can bring some of those photos out. The present president, young man too, but they don't want him. Youths don't want him. They felt the election was rigged. So thousands of protesters are outside in the street of Maputo. That's the capital. And they are all shouting and fighting and everything. So they want, there's another person they want there. I think he's called, he has a French name, Modern Dan. It's the man they want there, a young guy. But the country's electoral organization can't just do that. So protests are going on. It's real intense. They keep killing. The youths are ready to take the shot, take bullets, all for what they want. Who has this story? Raji, we're looking at African updates. Let's hear you.
As usual, Mozambique is suffering from the crude oil curse. Mozambique has so much oil, and the people are not enjoying the proceeds from this oil. So it is the same thing that is happening. I wish that president Samora Machel has survived. That after his death, I knew that Mozambique was in for serious trouble after his assassination. Yes. I hope they'll get their acts in order, and then they will let the people survive, enjoy the wealth that the country has.
So, yes, go ahead, Fiona. You want to say something?
No, I was just saying that, it's just unfortunate when our elections are plagued with all these things. The international communities have also kind of lent their voice into this ongoing political situation. And I think the African Union, the European Union, and the Commonwealth have said that they feel that there were so many election irregularities, etc., etc. But I think that what I'm just beginning to understand about politics, in particular politics in Africa, it just seems to be that they're marred with irregularities every single time. I mean, if I just think back about all the elections that have happened, is always a problem. International observers will tell us the people are not happy. We don't ever seem to have something that everybody, I mean, there's never any competition that everybody's happy. That never happens. But I mean, when the irregularities are so glaring, I think it's very difficult for the populace to just accept it and sit back. So it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate that, lives have been wasted, because for me, loss of life is kind of more important than any of these things. And even though I realize that sometimes in the push for emancipation, freedom, for a better existence, sometimes lives will be lost, but it's never nice. And obviously, condolences to our families of anybody who's,
young people dying.
Well,
okay. Right.
No, you see, the point about this whole entire thing is, I mean, people that are going out there and losing their lives is absolute stupidity. Very foolish. I saw it live in Nigeria, where people were being killed unnecessarily, and the people on top are safe. So you die, they bury you, and that is over, and life goes on. It's not. You need to protect yourself first and foremost. Protect your life. Be safe. If you want to voice out anything, don't put yourself in any danger, because it doesn't make any sense. None of those people that are running for election will bring their children out there on the street to come and endanger their lives, and neither should you for anybody. It should not happen. So we need to kind of get people in understanding that the religious aspect of politics is too dangerous for anybody to lose their lives, because those people on top, when they're all said and done, they are all eating and sharing that cake on top right there. You will be gone, and your family will mourn, and people are suffering because of your death. So I would really ask, all Africans, take politics as sports and not as soccer where people die. Take it as sports. Be a good sportsman. If you lose, take the law, go to the law and see what the law can do. Because all these things, you see how many people that are being killed is very, very unnecessary. And believe me, it's a preventable death, if you ask me. Been there, done that, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Doesn't.
Godwin.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad that George's opinion, his opinion, is not SSM opinion, because I don't think that those who lost their lives lost it in vain. They cannot. You can't call them fools. No, it is not right. It is not fair to them, because they are sufficiently affected by all that is happening to us. So that they need to vent. They need to vent. The killing is unfortunate, and the government should be blamed for the killing, not the people who died. Thank you.
Thank you. Adding to what Raji has said, he's echoing some of my points. There's no peace that it's not without war or paved with blood. And the longest peace we've enjoyed since the Second World War, and not the longest, but one of the longest, because the longest happened many centuries ago. But one of the longest periods of peace we've had is because of the threat of mutually assured destruction. People don't just go about in the world today of competition, companies tending towards monopoly. People don't, ideologies are not enough to keep everyone living in peace, obviously. And with sometimes one has to exercise his right and to show that that he has teeth and is ready to fight and to defend his rights. Many of those gains gained by the winner, he will rewrite history in his own favor, in his own interest, and his future generations will enjoy the spoils of the war. That's what happens. So I think that, but the only thing I have a little bit of criticism is when you go out to plan a war or protest or whatever, you should have a game plan. You cannot protest if you don't have logistics, you don't have a means of continuation, you have not secured sponsorship, you don't even have a geopolitical power on your side. It's you're planning to fail. That's my opinion.
Planning to fail. Thank you, guys. Gentlemen and viewers, we are talking Mozambique. Mozambique, southern African country that is going through a lot now. Young men with blood all over them are going through the streets, swollen eyes, hitting themselves with tear gas, and they don't even care. And they're dying. So all because they say the election was marred with so much irregularities. Even and the election observers are saying so too. But what can they do? The result has been out, October 9 election, and the people are not happy. So let's put our eyes there. Raji, put your eye on Mozambique for us. Next week, let's get more precise update from the ground. So on this note, gentlemen, I want to thank you. We've come. It's been wonderful. First day of the month. You've all come here, and we've done it. So any last word? Anybody want to say anything? Go ahead, George.
Well, next week we're going to be talking about the election in the United States of America. So we're going to be bringing updates to the world, possibly on the 6th, 7th, and the 8th, when the election is announced, and we will know exactly who won. Now here in Canada also, there are 24 members of the House that actually was pushing for Trudeau to step down. Trudeau refuses to step down, and that is actually happening because they felt like, because of his lack of popularity among that, they might lose the election, and so they're trying to force him to step down, but he refuses to do so. So these are the things that we are looking for, and next week we'll bring updates on those. Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend, all y'all out there, and be safe, and don't go and kill yourself because of politics, because your life is worth much more than that. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I hope everybody has a good month. It's, the year's coming to an end, and I just hope everybody just stays safe and keeps well, and have a great weekend.
Thank you. Yes, Raji.
Yeah.
Raji.
No, yes. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Raji. We are listening.
I just wish all of us a happy weekend. Keep safe and stay blessed.
And I am blessed with I am blessed with the presence of Yona and Dr. Godwin. Keep coming. Y'all make me look good when you show up.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the kind words. I want to say that wish everyone a happy new week, happy new month. I also want to add a little to what Sir George said. The U.S. elections. Do I say fortunate or unfortunate? It's very important to the world because it determines the trajectory of Russia-Ukraine conflict, Israel, Hamas, Hezbollah. It determines a lot in terms of how the patience of every side in terms of the negotiations currently going on, which I don't want to talk too much about. But yeah, it's so important. So I hope like the best candidate of the people wins, and he takes into account all these negotiations currently going on.
Wow, powerful.
The trumpets shall sound.
That's why we love when you come, gentlemen. Go have a beautiful new month. We'll come again next week. Bye-bye.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.